Cheers! Welcome to my channel. This is an end of the month for February Tarot Oracle reading. And Pisces, you are the star of this astrological insight. If your sun sign isn't Pisces, we still all have a little bit of Pisces in us. If you have your birth chart, which house is Pisces in, that's where this energy shows up for you. My goal is to provide valuable information to empower you. Keep in mind, this is a general or collective reading, meaning that parts may or may not resonate with you. So just take what resonates with you. And also, this is a timely reading, meaning if you're watching it at this time, it's the perfect time for you. Having said that, if it's been a while since I posted this, what was going on in your life then, that will give you further clarity as to your situation now. All right, we're going to begin with the underlying energy from the bottom of the deck. Oh, yay, Pisces. This is the Ten of Cups. So the Ten of Cups is ultimate fulfillment in a perfectly imperfect world. The cups represent love, and so it's about loving everything in your life. You love your partner, your children, where your home is, the place you're in, the country you're in. You love your career, you love the people you work with. It's like that energy. Everything you do, it's like fulfilling for you. Awesome. That's an awesome way to begin a reading. And that's for the underlying energy for the reading, is this goal of ultimate fulfillment. And then we have, for the internal forces, we have the Two of Swords. So the Two of Swords is representing someone who possibly has a bit of a closed mind here. The energy is saying my way or the highway, or this or that. And so the possibilities that this person can only see this way or that way, and they can't see the other creative solutions that could be in place, which could be very many. This is causing them to drain their energy, which you can see from their feet being turned out. When your feet are turned out like that, it is draining your energy. And we notice that the body language also here, the right arm is covering the left so it can't move. And that's talking about the logical mind overriding the intuition. This person is blindfolded so that it's either indicating that they can't see or they're going inward to their third eye to see. There's a saying, because you have eyes, you cannot see. And that is because people will say, oh, when I see it, then I'll believe it. But the thing is, you can only see a very small spectrum of the light, and that means like very small, about 5%. So all of that energy out there that you can't see is still full of life and energy. We just can't see it. Just because we can't see it doesn't mean it's not there. So this is about using your intuition. We have the new moon here, just had one on the 17th. It's the 20th now as I post this. And this is talking about the new moon energy. On this new moon, it's in the sign of Aquarius, and we have the opposing sign of Aquarius is Leo. So this is kind of like a battle between, hey, should I be looking after the needs of the whole, or should I be looking after my own needs? And that's been back and forth since the beginning of the month, when there was a full moon in the sign of Leo. And Aquarius energy was opposing that from the other direction. We also have an eclipse on this new moon, and this is a solar eclipse. When the eclipses happen, they quite often cause like an energy of some sort of major adjustment in your life, in some area or in all areas. And it lasts about 6 months. And that energy is, it's just really astrologically supported right now, is to be moving it from the old into the new. And we also had Chinese New Year. So we moved into the year of the fiery horse from the year of the snake. A lot happening on the 17th of February. And okay, we have justice coming out first and foremost. So this is talking about justice on the coming from the spiritual realm and coming down, trickling down to the physical. This person is the Queen of Justice, I guess, is sitting here wielding the sword of justice in her right hand. She's about ready to get up and take action. Her right toe is just the front of her foot is just peeking out from underneath this robe. You know, she looks chill, but in a moment's notice, she's going to get up and take action here. And we have, these are the internal forces. Internal forces are what you have control over because they're coming from within you. You can tell they're internal forces because you're asking questions like, what if they do that? What if I do this? You know, this or that again. And so that's a loop we can get caught in pretty easily. So the Three of Swords represents, you know, obviously it's not like the most fun looking card, but when you look at it a second time, you recognize, hey, that heart is actually quite big compared to the swords. So these are more like pinpricks or nails. I mean, that's bad enough, but at least maybe it's recoverable. It's not like the swords have cut through the heart, you know, and cut it in half or anything. This energy is talking about, it can be heartbreak over a situation where there's a couple and there's a third party, and that third party is driving a wedge between the two couples. This can also represent gossip and slander and harsh words being said. This card is saying that a potentially heartbreaking decision has to be made, because as the swords are our thoughts and our, you know, our words, how we express our thoughts, and also the written word as well as the verbal. But we will see here what this is about. We'll keep going. Okay, it looks like there was something fishy in your love life. And this is a page. And pages would work for the king and queen at a young age. They'd start around 7 to 14. They generally would come from the families in the area that were high society, and they would, you know, apprentice with working with at the palace, and that would mean running errands, running communication back and forth, that kind of energy. So this represents the energy of someone who's under the age of like 21, delivering a message. So some sort of apprentice probably, or a secretary or something like that. But this is talking about the Page of Cups recognizes that there's plenty of fish in the sea, but they're very focused on this cup. So this could represent someone who's very focused on you and maybe wants to ask you out on a first date, and that's the communication coming in. The communication could be in person, but it might be by phone call or a text message, or it could even be an email coming in. It could represent, you know, maybe you go to an event and meet this person at an event that you saw on social media. Could be something that you see in the news that causes you to reach out to someone. So this energy can also mean that there is something, because there's a fish in this cup of love, and it's like maybe there's something fishy going on in your love life which caused this heartbreak. And then we have Judgment coming in. So there's Justice and Judgment. These cards have been coming in a lot in the last week in particular, and I feel that it has a lot to do with the energy that the world is in right now, with the Epstein files being released and people talking a lot about that. It's a lot in the forefront of a lot of people's minds, because this is information that for some they never would have ever even thought about this possibly being able to happen, and they've been introduced to this energy and they're like, whoa, what the hell, you know, what's going on here? And a lot of people had a lot of concern that there would not be any justice served, because a lot of the energy is there, you know, a lot of elites involved. And then yesterday morning we had the former prince was arrested, and we haven't had someone in the UK monarchy arrested in, like, you know, some say 1600, some say 1700. So it's been a long time. And so this is sort of showing that there is some energy here where, you know, the authorities are seeking justice and judgment has been called. Now they're looking into things. So this is the energy that we're in right now, and it's everywhere you look, and it's on a lot of people's minds. So that's why, you know, we're all part of the collective. And so what's on the uppermost of the people's minds, generally, even if you're not particularly interested in that, it still has an effect on you, because so many people on the planet are. And so this judgment here is talking about judgment coming from the spiritual as well as the physical realm. That's what this banner in the back represents, the thin veil between. And the ancestors are up and cheering. So this could be justice for your ancestors, and the descendants are cheering. So ancestors and descendants that are so thrilled that there is judgment being called here. And then we have the Two of Wands. And so this is representing someone that wants to move on. He's standing at the top of the turret of his castle, and the energy is he's overlooking and his domain, basically. He's got a globe in his hand representing the world. So this energy is like, I've got the world in my hands. But maybe you live in a community of 5,000 people or something really small, and it's kind of like, I need to expand my horizons now. For me, this card quite often can also represent someone who's an entrepreneur and maybe wants to take action and plant some seeds in another city, or even another province or state, or even possibly across international waters, excuse me, in a different country. So this is definitely about expansion. What's really interesting is I took a lot of time to shuffle the cards, and wash them and shuffle them, because I was like, okay, why are these cards constantly coming up? It's the same cards I'm seeing throughout this. I'd say these cards have been in every reading that I've done regarding the end of the month, and yet here they are again. So, I mean, I'm confident that they were very well shuffled, and yet here they are again. So the universe is definitely wanting to tell us something here. Has a tail to spin. All right, and we have the Seven of Cups here, and the Seven of Cups are opportunities that are available to you. And it's like you're a black hole sucking in opportunity. And each of these cup has a gift in it. So it's up to you to decide which of these opportunities do I want to pursue, in what order do I want to pursue them. They most likely are challenges. Possibilities, they're not just, oh, here's a cup. It's not going to be like that. You're going to have to put some energy into them. And so a lot of them could be, the more challenging, the bigger the benefit. A lot of times possibilities are hidden as challenges because the universe likes action and wants to see us taking action. If we go through this is how you identify with yourself right now, that you want justice. Your abundance and self-worth, you're feeling a lot of heartache, disappointment in your love life, it looks like. It also could be in something that you love to do or you love to be. Are you back again and being a pain, Stella? My cat is being a little bit of a pain here, sorry. The communication in early life. And so there could have been some discord in your parents' relationship. And the thing is that, when we're raised in a family that has discord when we're young, it influences how we approach love later on. This is talking about emotional foundation, for your home and family. And so this is talking about some sort of judgment. The ancestors feel that there was something that justice needs to be wielded here. And they're not resting on the other side until it's taken care of. There's creativity, romance, and children. So now this could represent this kind of energy. I'm just wondering here. It almost could represent that maybe the person that you feel has caused. Well, I'm not going to say they've caused it, but how you feel right now about them is. Because you're in a long distance relationship, and so it maybe just kind of fell apart because of that. There's your health, daily routines, and habits. So this is talking about really looking for new opportunities and having them available. That's the energy that we're in right now. There's a lot of new energy and emphasis on doing things in a new way. Part of that is the reason is because Neptune, which is a very idealistic planet, is, it rules Pisces energy. So it's more dreamy and kind of flowing and emotional. The Neptune was in Pisces for the last 14 years, and it moved into the sign around the 26th of January. It moved into the sign of Aries, and it will be in the sign of Aries for 14 years. And then we also have Saturn moved into the sign of Aries as well. And so Saturn is another very big, deep planet, and that energy will be in Aries for about 2.5 years. So we're in this energy right now of, the idealism, things will just work out like they always do. If I do it this way, that's not going to work anymore, and you're going to have to make a shift there more than likely. It's kind of more of an energy of you have to be responsible, you have to do your research, you have to make sure that you dot your I's and cross your T's when you're taking on contracts, etc. You have to be more careful that way, especially with AI. There's so many scams out there now because of the ability to make things look more and more real all the time. We have here, the shift disturbers coming into the external forces. So the external forces are what keeps you up at night wondering what the EF happened. The shift disturber was hanging around. And so the shift disturber card is a card of contradiction. This person is like sneaking away with these swords, and he's looking over his shoulder at the past. He's planted 2 here for some reason, but has taken the 5 of them away. Sometimes this can represent stealing intellectual material or patents, that kind of energy. He's on tiptoe, but he's a thief in broad daylight. So this is representing white collar crime, if there is a crime being committed here. And look how he's he's going forward, and he's not looking where he's going, but he's looking back. And he's carrying these 5 swords in his, look how he's carrying them. It's so dangerous. Like, who carries swords like that? So it just shows that he doesn't, some people are just like, they like to take unnecessary risks. And that's the kind of energy here. And we can't figure out, like some people theorize that this card also can be about innovative thinking. And it can. But is it innovative thinking for good purposes is my question. Because why is he planting 2 swords here and leaving these 2 for the villagers? Are they going to think one or the other stole the swords, and so then they get in a fight? Oh, and there just happens to be 2 swords here that we can fight each other with. It's kind of, it's just a very contradicting energy. And it also came up about a couple of weeks ago when I was this came up in a reading, and the word 7-year itch came to me. There's a saying about the 7-year itch. And this card, so it could be this kind of energy here. And it's just a phenomena that happens where statistically around between 7 and 8 years is when a lot of marriages that's when a lot of people separate after between 7 and 8 years kind of energy. And also, when I looked into it some more, because I posted this on my, if you want to read it, it's on the community page there. But it's talking about the 7-year itch also applies to if you purchase, say you purchase a house, a big commitment like that, and then you don't want to be in it anymore. It's that after 7 years. So it doesn't just apply to relationships. It can apply to projects and, property, that kind of energy. So that's the external forces. There's something shifty. The shift disturber is stirring the pot, basically. Some people get bored. So this is talking about the 4 of Pentacles. The Pentacles represent health, wealth, happiness. And so this is the external forces here. This is talking about having a strong foundation for finances. This is actually talking about the 3 levels of money. So this is like it's 4 of coins. There's 10 in the tarot, in total. Like the most is 10. So 4 is, you know, it's a sound beginning kind of energy. And this is talking about a strong foundation, but not wanting to take a lot of risk or not having taken a lot of risk. So sometimes this card can represent selling yourself short by not taking opportunities because you're afraid of the risk. Or it can talk about playing small and just not really getting into the game and not leaving your comfort zone. He has his back to the city here. And this is saying, okay, I'm leaving my comfort zone now and I'm going to go for my heart's desires and maybe even my crowning glory. And so this is that energy of leaving your comfort zone, leaving the place possibly where you live right now. It could be this energy where you were successful in one place and that has given you a strong foundation to maybe franchise and create and have another new location. And then we have the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God. So this is a gift from the divine. It's talking about the truth coming out and the universe and God supporting you to come to the truth of the matter, whatever this is here. And also that will encourage you to find a more creative solution to this issue that's concerning you and go for this ultimate fulfillment. This is in this position of transition, secrets coming out, transition, big, like I said, you know how the eclipses, they can cause these energies. And the other thing that is coming up on March 3rd will be it's a full moon, and that full moon is going to have another eclipse, but this one's going to be a lunar eclipse. And I really do feel between the two, we're kind of in that in-between energy between those two eclipses, and it's hard to get the full story. So it's a good time right now to make plans to move ahead, to do a lot of research, to see what you want. How would you go about it, looking up the information and holding off to make the decision until I feel like on the 3rd, when that other eclipse comes in, this one will be a lunar eclipse, which means the sun will shine more light on the hidden aspects that are maybe holding you back here right now. And then we have, a tower. So this is a reality check coming in. And the reality check is the universe will be talking to us and saying, hey, you might want to take a look at that. And we're like, don't hear it. It's a whisper, we don't hear it. And then the universe gets the frying pan out and whack on the head, and you're like, ouch, that kind of hurt. And the universe is going, pay attention. There's something you need to pay attention to here. And you're like, oh, okay, I'll handle it next week, but you don't. And then the 2x4 treatment comes, and that doesn't work, so the lightning has to strike the tower. Because the universe is going to knock people off their pedestal. Like when you're in a situation like this and you think you're at the top of your ego is telling you, hey, I'm on the top, I'm the king of the castle. But you live in a place with 5,000 people. Like if you get out into a bigger city, you are now going to be a little fish in a big pond. And it's for your own good. The universe pushes you to get, to be the best version of yourself you can possibly be, which you're not going to come to by playing small. So the tower hits and it's on fire. There's people falling out of the building. This represents, one of them actually is surprised, and the other one is like, oh, I kind of wondered when this was going to happen. And that would probably be the one, if they're in this relationship, that has been stepping out of the relationship because of that kind of thinking, oh, I was kind of wondering when this was going to happen energy. And then we have the 3 of Wands. So the 3 of Wands now is talking about this person was thinking about, he had his left hand on here. So he was being in his creative energy, like, how would it be if I did this? How would, that kind of energy. Really looking into what would it be like to live in whatever country, or what would it be like to have another business? And how would I do that? And just really in that energy, Whereas this is now like, okay, I've made my decision. The right hand is now on this wand and it's taking action. And he's kind of crossed the portal of indecision and is ready now to move forward. This looks like it could be sand, but it's actually like the sun shining light on the water, turning it yellow. There's ships coming by, and he's thinking about hopping on one of them babies and going on an adventure. That's the kind of energy. This card also in this situation for me represents someone who's leaving being a couple, probably because of what happened here, and moving forward and as a single person. This also is representing, now that we have these two out here, there's a phenomena where the universe does speak to us through synchronicity, and it's called the 1111 or 111 portal. And it's really weird, but like you'll know you're in it, because what'll happen, I'm just going to give an example. You'd be sitting at your computer and all of a sudden you look, oh, it's 11:11. And then, oh yeah, I've got an appointment. I should just look up the address to see where it's at. Oh, it's at 111 11th Avenue. Huh, okay. I'm going to look up to see how far is it from here. Oh, 11 minutes, okay. And then as you're leaving the house, you look at the clock and, oh, it's 1:11. I better hurry up and get going. You're in your car and you're driving, and all of a sudden there's a detour. And the car in front of you on the license plate includes the numbers 111. And so this energy is talking, this is a synchronicity. And when you see the 111 or the 1111, and we have 11 here, 111, and 111, and then 1111. There's another card of the beginning of fulfillment that's 1111. We'll see if that comes out. We only have 2 cards to go here, so we'll see. But this is talking about possibly the universe has been trying to communicate in this way. And what that means is, when you'll notice this too, is that the universe is saying focus on where you want to go, and instead of focusing on the problems about how you're going to get there. So it's talking about, energy flows where attention goes. So if you're focused on the problems, you're going to be faced with more problems. And if you're focused on the solution, you're going to be given more opportunities to resolve something that's bothering you here. So this is talking about that energy. And maybe you haven't noticed it. I'm bringing it up now, because now you will. You'll notice it if the universe is trying to talk to you in that way. Okay, and then we have, someone was juggling. This card says, like, someone could be, very busy multitasking, doing a lot at once. And multitasking is good, but it can lead to, if you multitask too much, to quantity over quality work, and then you're not really getting anywhere because you're doing things twice. This energy also speaks about juggling, and so juggling options. And this card will say juggle your options, but never juggle your morals. And someone, I feel, juggled their morals here. And this is about, the pentacles, as I said, are about lifestyle. And part of that, of course, is money. So they could have not just been juggling your love, but maybe juggling your combined resources as well. This is talking about, the 10 of Wands is talking about laying down burdens that don't belong to you. So whatever happened with this energy, I feel that you've decided to walk away. So that's right there, that's one wand gone. Pooch. Okay, drop that one. Now your load is already lighter. And this card indicates that you're very close to home. Look how close, but he can't see it. It's kind of like this energy here, because the load is so heavy and he's so focused on the load, and yet he's this close to home, and it's saying don't quit now, whatever you do, because this energy, a lot of times people quit right before they're about to become successful. It's a weird thing, but people can start feeling that they're going to be successful, and you'd think, oh, well, that would be exciting for people. Yes, it is, and it's really weird, but it can cause people to be afraid of being successful if they've never been that successful before. It's something you wouldn't expect, but it's part of human nature, basically. Because once you become really successful, then you have more to lose. And so if you've had situations in the past that have caused a lot of heartbreak because you've lost something, then you avoid the success to lose. You see what I'm saying? And so this can represent seeds that you've planted, but they're burdensome now. At the time, like maybe you purchased a house, like that 7-year itch energy. You purchased a house and it was perfect. It was absolutely perfect. And you planned on being there with your partner and everything was all beautiful and you were working on this new business. But now, 7 years have passed and someone got the 7-year itch and wandered off with someone else without your knowledge, and you found out about it and it's changed the situation. And now you really want to sell that house because you're possibly getting divorced or separating. And the market has changed now, so you have to be careful because you don't want to lose your money. It's that kind of energy. Should I lose the money and go do and be what I want to be and go on an adventure and move on with my life, or should I take less money and say, hey, it was a lesson I learned, and I'm willing to lose the money because I want to move forward and do this instead kind of energy. And that's the energy that we have here. So I do hope you've enjoyed the reading up to this point. If you have, will you please like and comment? It really empowers me to build my channel. Also, I'm going to clarify this for those of you who want more clarification. This energy is it's an oracle that I've been working on since 2007. And in 2020, I completed 64th painting. And some of them were really, really big paintings because there was dragons in this oracle. It's from the Intergalactic Federation of Light. And so there's all sorts of energy in it. And I am now working on bringing the deck out. But I've had it out in the past and printed it off with I was missing still some of the cards. I hadn't done the paintings yet. But I played with it at a lot of, at psychic fairs for several years, and also at my seminars when I used to teach seminars. And I had a lot of fun with it. But now that all of the paintings are done, it has a totally different feel. And I'm just gathering the information that goes along with the book that, to write up. Oh, here we go. Here's the energy that wants to come out. My cat's on my lap purring, but she gets nervous with these cards because they tend to jump around and then she gets whacked. It's okay, Stella. She's sitting and purring away here, so she's raising the vibration for all of us here. All right, so this is talking about, this fulfillment is talking about making sure that you're on a strong journey. So this is talking about, like, if you're on God's path, then you're on a foolhardy journey. And you can anticipate your future. But if you're having expectations, those can really create limitations. They always do, because for instance, you might say to the universe, I want to make $10,000 by the end of this year, extra on top of whatever I was doing. And the universe says, oh, 10,000, I was going to give you 100. Okay. So that's an example of expectations creating limitations. You don't want to put limitations on it. It'd be more wise to say, I want to make 10,000 or more. That kind of energy. We have the Aquarius energy coming in here. So this is, again, that energy of the new moon in Aquarius that we just experienced, and with also, and this is about using your intellect. And again, this is talking about also the difference between using the Aquarius energy is, am I going to look after the group or am I going to look after myself? And you need to look after yourself to be able to be strong for the group, is the answer. And also, it's talking about not going back and trying to fix problems over and over again. Just, the Aquarius energy is more like, okay, that didn't work, so I'm going to observe it. I'm going to see what I feel is the problem. I'm going to change it in a small way. I'm going to go in this direction, observe it again. If it fails again, then I might abandon this altogether, or I might try one more time in this other direction, and I'm going to see whether or not that works. And if it does, then I'll double up on that, and that's the way I'll do it from now on. It's that kind of energy, like smaller experiments and not hanging on tight to what was, basically, and not hanging on to the old ways of doing things. We also have the Leo energy coming in here, which is about this leadership, this clash between the two. And Leo saying, hey, I'm important. I want to express myself as an individual, and I can be a leader and still express myself as an individual. And I have needs that I need to look after right now. And I'm going to do that, and then I'll be stronger for the group. Now, when these cards come in that are horoscope signs, my intention isn't to designate, oh, Leo did this, or this person was an Aquarius. What I'm looking at is the state of being of each of the signs, because we have, most of us have each sign somewhere in our chart. There might be a few missing, but generally we do. And so we can learn from the energy of all of these. And the state of being is basically, what does this sign have to teach us? And then there's also a stage of life. And so the stage of life of Leo energy is like teenage boys. And so you know how impulsive that energy can be. So, in the year of the fiery horse energy, you have to be careful not to run on impulse, because it's not a good, a horse, when it gets spooked and it runs, it can run far and it can be running in the wrong direction. And it's very dangerous, because when a horse gets spooked and runs, all you can do is hang on for dear life and, wait for it to get tired, basically, or wait, get stopped one way or another and try not to get hurt in the meantime. It's like you can get taken really far off your path. If you want to know more about the fire horse energy, you can go to my channel on my playlist. I do have a playlist with the Gregorian calendar, the new year for January 1st, also for the fire horse energy, and also Valentine's Day is on that right now. So those are what I did is a reading for each of the signs there. And then I also have a separate playlist for the new moon and the full moon energy. If you want to check out the moon energies, those are available on those lists. Those are bonus readings on top of these ones that I do at the beginning, the middle, and the end of the month. So it might give you further insight as to your situation. And then I have the Hierophant coming in. So the Hierophant is representing bringing justice from the spiritual realm down to the physical. So this is talking about the traditional structure. So if you're someone that believes that religion is spiritual, and that's the route that you go, is being religious, then this is talking about it could be, the Hierophant can be representing like cardinals and popes and bishops, that kind of energy. And but it being carried out on the planet Earth. And then we have the Hierophant also is, this is the energy of justice being brought about by our court systems. And so this could be, the Hierophant could represent a judge or, lawyers, prosecutors, that kind of energy, bringing justice in the legal system. And the Hierophant has his right hand, or in the form of a blessing. So generally, if you're following a foolhardy path, then you're more then when justice comes in, you'll be on the right side of it. The sword of justice is a double-edged sword. So some people look forward to seeing justice come in, and others avoid it. And we have abuse of power here. So yeah, this is talking about abuse of power is a karmic space. And we all have experienced abuse of power in one way or another. Sometimes people don't even realize they're abusing power. But it's, and not going out of their way to do it. And other people they have power and they get power happy, and they happily abuse it away until they get caught. And those are the ones that are not looking forward to justice coming in. We have a lot of people at the top of the pile there right now that are in that category where, yikes, the last thing they wanted was for all of these emails and all of this information from those files to come out, but it is. And then this is degradation. So this is, instead of shame on you, this is shame off you. So a lot of times when people have been victimized by schemes or whatever, they're too embarrassed to come forward, you know, or if there's been some criminal activity. And I just did a reading about that. It's called, what was the name of it? I can't remember the name right at this exact, a scandalous situation. And it's been quite popular, and it is talking about Giselle Pellicot from France, who you went to court because she was in an abusive power situation with her husband. And so you can take a look at that. But one thing that stood out for what she didn't have to go to court and be in a situation where she was in court, but she chose to face the 70 men, like her husband, and I think there was 52 men or 51 men in court that had abused her. And she faced them because she said, the shame doesn't belong to me, the victim. I don't want to be a victim. The shame is taken off me. I want them to be responsible for that. And so that's the kind of, if you're feeling degraded, recognize that the shame doesn't, I mean, there may have been things that you didn't see and you're embarrassed or whatever, but when people go out of their way to abuse power, sometimes they get really, really good at it. And they're, you know, and the signs aren't as clear. And we have the third eye chakra, using your insight, as we said here, instead of just your logic, using both together. And then this is talking about your attitude. So, you know, when challenges come up, sometimes we're like, oh gosh, another challenge. Why can't I just have something come easy? Having a good attitude will make you see the opportunity in that way more quickly, and you know, push you forward towards getting this ultimate fulfillment here. Lack of awareness, this and causing missed opportunities. Never underestimate the power of willful ignorance. Like when you just don't want to see something like this, I don't want to see it. Your partner's cheating on you. I'm just going to pretend it's not happening. But then eventually the universe keeps sending, and it just gets harsher and harsher. The reality check builds, you know, because you're not listening. So the universe has to, you know, boom, do you see it now? And it's like, well, I can't help but see it. And so the road to hell is paved with good intentions. Just because people may be abusing power and they're not intending to, but they just aren't very good at wielding power. And, you know, that's a practice, right? We have the moon energy, and this is talking. So this here is, what were the intentions of your partner? And what were your intentions moving into that relationship? This is in your commitment, partnerships, and marriage. And so it could be that your intentions were very different from the other person's intentions, and that was never addressed. And then a transition happens. And we're talking again about the moon here. And look at it, it's talking about the day, the 18th, and it was the 17th that we had that Aquarius moon that's being highlighted here. So this is saying really pay attention to your insight right now, to your intuition, because it's really sharp. And then that will give you, discipline your mind to be quiet so that you can hear your intuition. We have the Cancer energy, again talking about the moon. Cancer is ruled by the moon. And you know, that's adolescent energy. Think of young girls that are just about to start their cycle, and think about how volatile that is. If you've ever been there, or if you've ever raised a daughter, you'll know what I mean. It's like emotions up and down, and that's particularly challenging for adolescent girls. When they're in that stage of life, and there's a lot of tears and a lot of really, a lot of emotions up and down, and becoming entrenched by it, where they just are like beside themselves. and can't see a way out, and so this is saying when the moon's out, get engaged in your energy of your intuition instead of being entrenched by the emotions that the moon has a tendency to stir up. We have disruption here. And so the disruption, these are all the cards that fell out when I first was shuffling. I'm taking them in the order that they came. So the disruption here is what's fun for some is not fun for everyone. Yes, that's when you walk off, when you find out, you know what, I don't need this. That it's not it's not what I want in a relationship. And then we have worldly and otherworldly desires. So this is kind of talking about giving yourself permission for your authentic desires, to be on your authentic path. And, that can include both your spiritual needs, the unconscious mind, satisfying that mind, as well as satisfying your conscious mind. And so, some people, they're so focused on material things and they don't look at their spiritual side at all. And some people are so focused on their spiritual side that they renounce all material things, and then they miss out on a lot of opportunities to travel and go to new cultures and, experience some beautiful, sensational moments in life. And then we have attachment. So yeah, the attachment, when you become attached to something, and this card says, what's mine is mine and what's yours is mine. And it's kind of spinning a web and reasoning within yourself somehow that, hey, what I'm doing is okay, because you're so attached to a certain outcome or a certain person that you'll do almost anything. And then that leads you to falling into a lot of other karmic spaces. So yeah, this has been a really cool reading. It's really good information coming in. I think bottom line here, it's saying that, ups and downs happen in life, but use the cycles, be aware of the energy, and recognize that now we're moving into a different, and especially for you, because of moving out of the sign of Pisces, and you're ruled by Neptune, you're going to be really feeling this a lot. And you and Aries are feeling that kind of energy a lot. It's hitting you the hardest because for 14 years you've been ruling, it's been the way things have been done. And now you're going to have to accept that there's other ways to do things. That could be, once you understand that though, it can be a huge plus for you. And so really being able to move forward and get this ultimate fulfillment that you're looking for. I do hope you've enjoyed this reading. Please give it a like and comment if you have. And consider subscribing if you resonate with the channel. I'd be honored if you did so. I will be back with another reading for you. That one will be regarding the beginning of March. Bye for now, Pisces. Oh, I'm sorry I woke you up.